Hey guys, this is CT Spectrum from the future. So for today's video, we're going to be doing something a tad bit different. For today's video, I'm actually going to be going over how things went when I entered online school, but I'm also going to be interviewing with my online school teacher. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let's get on with the discussion.
Hi.
Yep. So, the specific aspects we're going to be going into for today's video is my struggles at first, the beginning of projects, and how things went after I started out with projects. And this is basically just going to be a normal conversation. So, there was actually a reason why I registered for online school, because when I was, I forgot the name of the school back in Oklahoma, but, like, the reason why I decided to go to online school was actually because, for some reason, I would always get negative thoughts while in school, and it would just deprive me of my work. I just really wouldn't be feeling well, and I honestly didn't know why it happened. It just did. So for the first time, I asked my mom, "Hey, do you think I could maybe do online school? Like do my school from home?" We eventually we did manage to get myself registered, and according to her, like I had the biggest smile on my face when I got out of public school. So I felt pretty good when I went to online school. I thought things were actually going to be pretty easy, so to speak. Not easy to the point where I could just do this passively and be on with my life. Rather, like, I guess the way I thought about it, the way I was thinking about it was that I would just, like, do certain assignments per day, and we just go on from there. But it definitely didn't go as I thought it did, because I think it was specifically because I wasn't really good at reading. Like, I could read just fine, it's just trying to process these words and memorize them, that's like a whole other story for me. I really started to struggle a lot, and I began lacking behind, and I felt pretty bad. I basically just do what I can. I do make an attempt to try to do all my assignments. The way I approached it, I was basically going through the motions, and I'm like, okay, this is something I have to do, get it done, goodbye. And you offered me the whole projects thing, which at some point you did offer me to do some projects, but there is actually a reason why I didn't accept it at first, because like at this point in time I was still doing like my Heroes Rise business. I'll be sure to leave a link to the description for my other channel regarding that, but I was doing my whole Minecraft roleplay shtick, and I was aware of the fact that I would procrastinate a lot. So I was sitting here like, okay, so yeah, if you throw me some projects to do, I'll do them. It's just that I'm not sure if I'm gonna like get them done in time because of how much I procrastinate.
Right. Yeah. When you first got the projects, I remember trying to see if you would do them, but you were very hesitant to accept them. And I'm like, dude, I'm not going to, make all of these projects if you're not going to do them. And
Right.
so you were very, very hesitant in the beginning in regards to accepting the projects. And then once I said, well, fine, you get to do all online, then you were a little bit more eager to accept my projects.
Because you already know about this. There was a video that I made regarding like the Battle of Great Britain video.
Mm-hmm.
When I did that, it was actually for a history project at the time. But when I was told I could do projects like that, I was like, ooh. I thought it was actually a really good idea, because after after I watched my video and we did like a whole test on it, I remembered everything just based off what I did for my own video. And
yeah, no, that video was excellent. That a lot of your videos that you did, I shared with other students who were struggling in those subjects that you were in and those specific topics, and it helped them to grasp it better as well, getting to see how you engaged them with your animation, I think is what the correct term would be.
yeah.
And the sounds and all the videos or not videos, but images that you'd pop up and things like that, it really kept their attention. You did a great job.
But once I actually accepted the projects and I started doing the videos, which, fun fact, for those of you who don't know, I actually created a channel revolving around my online school projects, and it was basically my means of turning things in so that way I could show them to my teacher. And when I did them, it made things so much easier, and things really started to move along just fine. Though I guess as time went on, they kind of went a little bit lackluster. I mean, there was like a tinge of humor here and there, but I'm not sure if I had the same connection as before, because at that point I was just doing them. I was trying to be informative, and I was just trying to get them out of the way so we could move on. Which I'm probably gonna need to look back on my channel a little bit to remember some things.
I was like, some of the topics too that you were assigned, they were a little bit more difficult, a little more challenging to engage people, like the different types of music for music theory. But you did a great job with how you actually incorporated a change of scenery with each different style.
Yeah, I figured it'd be more fitting. So basically, the projects were just like videos that would talk about certain topics, whether it be like science, history, math, and stuff like that. But in terms of my other assignments, like math, personal finance, and cybersecurity, I had to take those normally. Those lessons were very different compared to the others, so it was basically just like a read and a review type of thing.
Right, kind of memorize and learn, which is what you weren't enjoying about regular school when you were in it.
No, when it came to reading, that was not my strong suit at all.
Just keeping the information there.
Yeah, which I'm gonna have to look back on the personal finance stuff pretty soon here. But I mean, it's gonna be important for life.
It is.
But other than that, things went pretty good. So when I started doing the projects, did it also make things easier for you?
In a way, it did. It was challenging in the beginning, making sure that I was covering everything that needed to be covered and that you were showing that you knew those skills. But then once we hit our rhythm, it just kind of started falling together. It was helpful because you were producing projects that I could use to help other students that were struggling. And that was beneficial on my end. It definitely it made things easier overall in regards to your performance in school, because in the beginning, when you first started, I was very, very concerned, and I told my principal that I didn't know if you were going to make it to even Christmas without getting a truancy withdrawal or reported for truancy. But you really got it. You got it pulled together. You got your support system going, and you started cranking everything out. And I feel that the projects helped keep you engaged in school. And maybe even if you didn't love it, I feel like you just didn't hate it.
No, I definitely didn't hate it. Like, I didn't enjoy it, but I knew it was important to do in order for me to move on. So I'm like, okay, This is something I gotta do. Let's do it. So yeah. So did you ever have to change or bend the rules in order for my project assignments to work?
I don't think I had to bend the rules in regards to that. We had to tweak some certain aspects of, I forgot which project it was. We had an error, like an issue come up. And so we had to make some tweaks there regarding what you were covering, but it still covered everything that you needed to. And so that was my job, was just making sure that you were covering everything that you had to cover. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah. So when I completed my assignments, did you ever enjoy them?
Oh, I always enjoyed them. I can't think of, like, if I had to rank them in order, like that's what would get me. It was my highlight to grading when your projects would roll through.
Yeah.
Because it was something different than, basic writing assignments, or poster board projects or a slideshow. And so it was different. So it was like, cool, what did Cole do today?
Once I started doing the projects, I was definitely doing much better in school. I could definitely see the improvement. And granted, I had my hiccups because, the whole lazy procrastination thing. so my dad had to get me back on track here and there, and I kind of, and the way I pursued things when it came to like projects and math was like, I wasn't really trying to like get out of working, but rather I'm trying to like, but I was approaching it like I was focusing on one thing, and then I'll do the other one next after I'm done with all this, so that way it becomes easier to, what's the correct word? It
Kind of process it.
Yeah, and especially on my senior year, that's when math really got complicated because it was usually those math lessons where it was like 0 of 2, and whenever I saw those from experience, I'm like, those are word problems. Red alert.
Yep, a little bit more challenging. Math and reading, your favorite things.
Totally. And it got so complicated to the point where I transferred from plateau math to doing Khan Academy math.
Yeah, but the upside with Khan though was that they had the additional videos.
Yeah.
And so that was beneficial in that regards. But both were, it was just a challenging, math class.
But with that being said, was I ever like too complicated at times?
The only time you were super complicated was in the very beginning when you were not like I think you were just shy because you didn't really know me. And so you weren't communicating what was going on. And so you weren't working consistently. You were falling really far behind. You were at risk for truancy. And I remember talking to my principal. He was checking in on you one time. And I said, I don't know if he's going to make it. I am very, very much concerned. And your dad got involved. And that's when all the balls started rolling and everything started. Yeah, he got the whip and got it cracked. And you got yourself off academic probation and, never had issues after that. And so it was finding the right learning style for you, but also ensuring that you were comfortable enough to communicate if there was something wrong or you were frustrated, instead of just shutting down because it, was too difficult or you were bored with it, or, you just weren't retaining it.
Yeah, I think it was a little mixture of everything, and that goes back to what I was thinking earlier. I think with me, I think I am capable of learning the normal way, but sometimes I require my own different method, the way I can comprehend and understand it.
Mm-hmm.
So that way it kind of plays into my favor, but I'm getting the wanted results.
Right. But when you say the normal way of learning, what would you call the normal way of learning? Well,
considering of how different things were for my online school, I guess you could say like I guess normal students would just pretty much go through the normal plateau stuff, like the reading, the lessons, and stuff like that. For me, the way I learned from it was by doing the projects.
Mm-hmm. Which that's not atypical. There's a lot of kids who benefit better from projects, and honestly, none of the kids enjoy just reading, and that's why we like to tie in some projects here and there to give them something else, a little more engaging than read and answer.
Yeah. How did I do in comparison to other students?
Like academically or just performance-wise?
Performance-wise.
Performance-wise, you were once you got in your rhythm, you were one of my students where I was not frequently concerned that, you were falling off the face of the earth or not going to finish your work or not graduate on time. But I had other students who, they had their own personal challenges going on, but they would, not want to work. Or if I got them to work, I'm like, okay, I need you to do like these 5 assignments today. Okay. And then they do 10 minutes. I'm like, okay, that's not it. Like, I'm gonna come to your work tomorrow. I know what time you get off. We're gonna talk.
Yeah, I could definitely understand the personal problems bit.
Yeah.
I think I was one of them at the time until I found my rhythm, because I guess the way I kind of look at things is that whenever I have this imagination going, sometimes it creates self expectations, and when I don't meet up to those self expectations, I just feel really bad. I know this is putting it a little bit harshly, but I kind of felt like I was sad and pathetic.
No, everyone has a bum grade at some point in their life. And so it's better to try it and see how you do and learn from your mistakes than to sink and not complete it. And not complete it, you would fail anyway. So might as well throw darts at the ball and see how well you do when you're trying your best.
Yeah. So with that being said, how was that to teach?
It was different because you learn differently. And we're virtual, we're online. It was a little more challenging to answer questions at times, but the big part of teaching, if you have students that want to learn and want to do well, they're more open to the attempts than if they are just like, I don't care, I just want to graduate. I don't care, a D will get me by.
Yeah.
You really valued your work, and so you were open to being critiqued. You were open to having suggestions. You were open to asking for help and assistance when you needed it. And so that made you amazing to teach because you genuinely cared.
Granted, sometimes I wasn't interested, but I did care for my grades.
Right. Now, I don't expect every kid's interested in 100% of everything they're ever in school. I mean, I know I wasn't, but I knew, I was like, I still have to do this, and this is going to help me later in life. I'm sure somehow. I may not know how now, but I'm sure it'll help me later. And it did. Like, it helped me when I got to college, and I wanted to have a master's degree. And so that really helped me as I did like literature classes and had to write all these essays. Everything they taught me was beneficial, even though I was not a fan of it at the time.
Yeah. But yeah, that's about all that we have for today's video.
So that pretty much concludes the interview with my teacher, but I would also like to take this opportunity to give a big thanks to said teacher. She really made things easier for me, as well as my father with the 2 years of my online school, and I'm extremely grateful that she allowed me to expand on my ways of learning and allow me to do the projects, so that way it can really help me do the assignments. It really helped expedite the process and allowed me to explore my other ways of learning, and high chances are if it weren't for her, I wouldn't have been able to graduate on time. So I'm really thankful for her support. She was a great and supportive teacher throughout the 2 years of online school, and I just want to thank her for that. Now with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys want to stay tuned for more, I recommend clicking the like and subscribe button. And if you got any suggestions for future topics, please be sure to leave them in the comments below and they may get featured for a new video. Anyway guys, this is CG Spectrum signing off, and I'll see you later.